Romeo and Juliet is one of the oldest and most well-known bad teen romances. Probably because almost everyone in high school is forced to read it. But why? Probably because, believe it or not, school wants you to know about pop culture. Now, I see Romeo and Juliet as a self-fulfilling prophecy or a paradox. We learn about Romeo and Juliet because of all the pop culture references, but there wouldn't be so many pop culture references around today because if they haven't learned it in school. Roughly 93% of all 9th grade classes learn it, so we've all seen it at some point. You might find school dumb for promoting this cycle, but put those feelings aside for the next couple of minutes, and hopefully this will explain somewhat why Romeo and Juliet is so popular.
To understand how much pop culture takes from this play, you need to know the story, or at least the parts people reference. Two families are feuding, Montague and Capulet. Son of Montague, Romeo, sneaks into Capulet's party and falls in love with their daughter of the Capulet, Juliet. And Juliet falls in love with him too. After the party, Romeo sneaks into the Capulet's garden to find Juliet at her bedroom balcony. They confess their love for each other and prepare to get married in the morning. After getting married and not telling anyone, Romeo kills Juliet's cousin in a duel. Which leaves Tybalt dead. This gets Romeo banished, and at the same time, Juliet has an arranged wedding for another man. Not wanting to remarry, Juliet drinks poison and pretends to be dead, thinking Romeo will come take her from her tomb when she wakes. She gets taken to her grave, and Romeo does actually show up to the tomb, but he thinks she's really dead. So he drinks poison, he drinks real poison, and dies. After Romeo dies, Juliet wakes and sees Romeo dead at her feet. So she decides to take his dagger and stab herself, leaving them both dead, because they both could not live in a world without their alive lover. When the two feuding families find out, they stop the feud for their dead kid's love. And
basically, two teens kill themselves because they can't live a life without their love for each other. Several themes can be young love never lasts, love can destroy, love over hate. Honestly, the reason this play is so popular is because people love love. I mean, love is the most commonly said noun in English songs, arguably the most common theme in music. It's everywhere. Now, in the recap of the story, you probably recognized some of the mentioned people or scenes. Names like Romeo, Juliet, Capulet, and Montague, or places like the balcony scene or Juliet stabbing herself. This is because you've already seen pop culture's examples of Romeo and Juliet. You might even know the whole story already by retellings and remakes of the classic tale. West Side Story is the plot of two teens. One member is a member of the white gang, the other is the little sister of the leader of the Puerto Rican gang in Manhattan in the 1950s. They fall in love with each other, but the brother and the teen boy die, leaving the girl without her family or lover. Another film is Romeo and Juliet, which is basically the same story as Romeo and Juliet, but with a lot less death and with garden gnomes. There are many films and shows depicting Romeo and Juliet, but there are 100 more references and songs. One of the most popular examples right now is Love Story by Taylor Swift, which depicts her and her boyfriend as Romeo and Juliet.
I said, Romeo, take me somewhere we can be alone. I'll be waiting All there's left to do is rock you.
Other songs even have references in their title, like Check Yes, Juliet by We the Kings. It's hard not to see this play everywhere. Even in the phrase star-crossed lovers comes from this play. Now that you see in some places that Romeo and Juliet is shown, you can see why a lot of people love the story about how two lovers, teenage, naive, with forbidden love for each other, fall in love. This story is done 1,000 times after this play, and you can see why. People are obsessed with drama, and people are going to continue to be obsessed with drama. And because of that, you are now forced to constantly learn about it in your school today. So, thanks to people like Taylor Swift making this drama even more popular this day, then you're going to keep learning about it again and again and again, because people are obsessed with other people's lives turning out horribly, and it's wonderful.